Hello and welcome to Color Up. Today we're going to talk about the Fire Bet. Now it is disappearing from more and more casinos, so it appears to be dying, but it is still available in some places, so you may want to get out there and give it a try before it completely disappears. Now there's different reasons why people say that the Fire Bet is going away. Some because there is a licensing fee attached to the name, so the casinos are paying money just to have that trademarked game or side game to the game of craps. And other people say it's because of the final win. The typical payment is 1,000 to 1, and that because the amount and the betting spread, it actually triggers a W2G. So the game actually has to stop for a while. They have to gather everyone's information to issue a W2G to everyone who actually wins that 6-point Fire Bet. So it slows down the game a bit. I don't know the real reason, but it does appear to be leaving more and more casinos as the years have gone on. So you might want to get out there before it's too late. Okay, I don't have a table with the Fire Bet, so let's see if I can create one here magically. Okay, that looks pretty good. So this is how it is a side bet. What it is you'll see these Fire Bet symbols in front of each player. And this is a bet before the initial come out roll of the player. So a lot of times the bet range, they're going to allow you between $1 and $5. Some tables may allow more, but typically $1 to $5. So let's place our dollar bet before the come out roll on our Fire Bet. Now that is a contract bet. Once you make it, you cannot remove it. So let's go ahead and have the shooter set a point. Okay, he shot an 8, so the point's going to be 8. Now this Fire Bet gets moved up to the center of the table, to these markings here, so they know whose bet it is, and that's now locked in. So for how this bet pays off is you have to hit multiple points, well, the shooter has to hit multiple points until you win. So you got to have a hot shooter for this to win. For example, once this shooter hits his 8 and he wins, they're going to mark this 8 with a Fire Bet chip. So that's our first point hit. Your dollar still rides. Now on a come out, now he's going to come out again. A 7 here is not going to affect it because just the only way you lose this bet is a losing 7. Okay? So let's say the shooter, let's say he establishes a point up. No, let's go 5. The order of the points, it doesn't matter. So it's a 5, he hits the 5, and they're going to mark it again. So you're happy you won the 5. Now you've hit 2 points towards the Fire Bet. Shooter comes out. This time he hits a 9, rolls it right back, wins it. They're going to mark it again. You still haven't gotten paid. So as you can see, it's going to take a hot shooter. Now, some casinos, I have heard, I haven't seen this, but some casinos will pay after 3 hits. Typically, they're going to pay on the 4th, 5th, and then finally the 6th hit. Now, there are 2 different pay tables. Now, I have markers here for 25 for 1, once you hit 4 numbers, 250 for 1, and 1,000 for 1 on the final hit. Now, if you hit 4 numbers, you don't get paid 25 to 1 because you might hit a 5th number and then a 6th number. So they're not going to pay you for this one, and this one. They're just going to pay you at the highest level that you finished off. Let's say the shooter finishes off with a total of 5 wins. You're going to get paid the 250 for 1. You're not going to get paid this and then this. So you just get kind of paid the highest level that he ultimately reaches. Okay, let's go back to our example. So let's say another thing you need to know is the shooter rolls another 8 again, you have to hit individual points. So if the shooter rolls an 8 again, this is not going to affect your bet. You actually have to hit separate or individual numbers. So you're going to need him to hit this number. Well, it was on. He hits the 8. Now he comes out on the 6. He hits the 6. That's our 4th hit. Congratulations, you are now in the money. You are going to get paid $25 for that $1 chip. But the shooter keeps going. So, but if he does 7 out at this point, you are guaranteed this 25 for 1. Okay, shooter comes out on a 4. He hits his 4. Now you're up to $250 for one. Obviously, this is a long shot bet. You're thinking, wow, who's going to hit all these numbers? Well, that's the point of the bet. It's a long shot. It has a terrible house edge of, depending on the payout table, over 20%. So, worse than, kind of the worst slot machine. This is really bad bet. Worst you can do on the craps table, basically. But when it hits, it is nice. And some people say, well, it's only $1 per shooter. More than likely, how the math works out, you are going to lose, $250 before you actually hit that. That's how the casino makes their money. But you can beat the odds, maybe 100 players in, you hit that 250, hey, payday, right? It's great. So it's really up to you. It's a low cost bet, but it is a huge risk. Okay, the shooter comes out on the 5. Again, it has to be an individual point, so that's not going to help us. He hits it. He comes out on his final and last number. And we're looking for that final hit. He hits it. Congratulations, 1,000 for one. Now, there are some people who, I'm not going to get into this, but once they are out on that final number, they will hedge and lay against that number. That way they'll win either way. I'm not going to get into that, but that is something that some people do. For me, I've never even come close to playing. Well, I don't play the bet, but I've never even seen it in person, except for getting up to a 4, and they won the 4. They got out onto a 5th number and couldn't make the 5th. So that's the highest I've ever seen in person. But, it does happen. So if I got out on that, that last and final number, I'd probably go for it all because, it'd be fun to see it and you're still getting paid your $250 to 1. I don't know, but if you do want to take advantage of it, you need to take advantage of it soon before it's completely gone. If you guys know what casinos they are in, maybe it's your local casino, go ahead and put in the comments where you've seen it, where you know it's there as of the publishing of this video. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Fire Bet, how you like it, and if you've had a good time with it, if you've ever hit, what's the highest number you've ever hit. So there's a little information there about the Fire Bet. I hope it helps you out. I hope you get a chance to play it. It's a terrible bet. It is a terrible bet. It's a fun bet when it pays out and wins. So hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, good luck on coloring up.